What's up, Kings fans? We're back in the film room already because I just had to break down some of what we saw defensively on Tuesday night against the Jazz. Going into Wednesday, the Kings ranked 6th in offense and 8th in defense. The offense part isn't really surprising. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it finished even higher than that, but the defense has been awesome, man. It's obviously still early in the season, and it was just the Blazers and Jazz who you looked really good against, but so much of what we saw has me very optimistic about this group going forward. The Kings forced 17 turnovers against the Jazz, and that seems to be the identity of this defense. Guys are flying around and playing aggressive on the perimeter, especially in the gaps off ball. The Kings don't really have true rim protection out there most of the time, so they need buy-in from everybody on the team. On a lot of these dig downs one pass away, the team really has a lot of these guys with active hands and are constantly able to get a hand on the ball. DeRozan is defending the strong side corner, so you don't really want to commit to the help, but what you can do is poke at the ball like DeMar does here, and he's been doing it with success. Between DeMar, De'Aaron, Keon, and even Kevin Huerter this year, the Kings have a lot of dudes who have been ball hawks in these gaps. I touched on it in my last video, but I've loved the connectivity of this unit. DeRozan does a good job at funneling Markin into the baseline where he has his help in Trey Lyles. On the handoff exchange, he does the same thing. Lyles is there with the help. Sensabaugh tries to spin middle, but Fox is there in that gap, and that's a very low percentage shot over 2 defenders. These are all awesome rotations off a breakdown. On that first pass, Keon is going to X out to the corner. Malik will take the swing to the wing here. Collins tries to attack Malik's closeout, but Keon is the ultimate nail help defender because he can always take away that driving lane while still recovering back to his man for a great contest. This screening action between Collins and Clarkson causes a little confusion, but Lyles gets back to Collins on the drive, and Huerter gets a piece of the ball from behind. The Jazz recovers, so the Kings got to scramble a bit, but again, everything is on a string and everyone makes the right rotations. Probably about half of this video is about Keon, but he really does so much for the defense when he's out there. The Kings have Lyles here at the 5 with this lineup, so when Sexton gets the switch here, it's really the Kings' gap help that prevents an attack. Just watch how far Keon continues to stun over, and even angles his back away from his man and toward the ball handler to try and bait that pass being made. On the reset, you have good help from Keegan too, and Fox was battling with John Collins the whole possession as well. You'll have to live with Sexton pull-up threes and mismatches like this. Just want to give another shout out to Fox here. This is that small ball group again. The Kings initially had Keon inside defending Collins, but you can see Fox call for that switch off ball though, and the Jazz immediately tried to exploit that matchup. But De'Aaron's a lot stronger than he looks. Here he bumps Collins off his drive and into the Trey Lyles help, and the Kings force yet another turnover. Again, the rotations are on point here. Sabonis is going to hedge, and honestly the Kings probably should have gotten a trap here, but Williams was able to split Domas and DeMar with this spin, but you have Keegan come over as the low man and take the roller, so Williams skips it cross court to the corner, but Fox gets there on the catch. This was called out of bounds, but the Kings were all over it anyways. Here Clarkson sets a ball screen so Fox and Huerter switch. The Jazz decide to swing it back to Sensabaugh and try to attack to his right, where the only help available is Huerter, whose man is drifting to the corner. But both Kevin and Keon have the uncanny ability to play both on the perimeter, so here he digs down to make Sensabaugh pick up his drive, but still recovers to the corner, actually flies by on his contest, but he does stay in the play, and with his size he still gets a good contest on the second jump. And I want to give Huerter a ton of credit because he's really been out here competing defensively. Here he's on Jordan Clarkson at the point of attack. He does a great job at staying attached through the screen. Clarkson tries to redirect middle, but Kevin stays in front of him. This push off from Clarkson creates little space, but probably should have been called. This is great effort from Huerter, who has to chase Clarkson through some off-ball action. Again, with his size, he's able to shoot around this screen because of his ability to get a solid contest anyways. Huerter is working off the ball here. Keontae George tries to get an early attack, but the dig down from Huerter pokes the ball free, and the Kings just make it so hard to attack these driving lanes. No one has better hands on these trips than Keon though. The Jazz try to get George to attack off a stampede drive here, so Keon is in the gap while the ball is being swung, and Keontae is already looking to get ahead of steam. But even though he gets a half step on Keon here, Keon is never out of the picture, and he strips the ball from behind and saves the basket. Keon just makes so many unbelievable plays that shouldn't even be possible. Watch him pick up Sexton full court in transition, read his eyes, so you can see Sexton looking ahead to make this hit-ahead pass to Collins here, so Keon jumps in anticipation for that. Normally this should be a blow-by with the defender in the air right here in transition, especially against a speedster like Colin Sexton. But Keon just turns that jump into a spin and regains his momentum immediately, then just pokes the ball away from behind. And of course he follows it up with the putback dunk because why not? Keon really has some of the best hands-on defense that I've ever seen. He has like a log-on mode for the ball. It's unreal. Literally anyone driving into these gaps, I damn near expect to result in a turnover. Here's another absolutely ridiculous play from Keon. He has his back turned to the ball here, defending this strong action. So the Jazz are setting these staggered screens for Johnny Juzang, and Keon ends up switching on Juzang, and you can see him pop out to deny that pass. Keon turns his head back and within a split second locates the ball and just flies in out of nowhere. But even with the emphatic aggression that Keon plays with on this end, he manages to stay disciplined most of the time. Like here on Clarkson's drive, he stays grounded, waits for the ball fake, and then just erases that second attempt. That's about all I have for you guys today, so thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you all next time.